Record, and we better get started because we have a lot to do today to jump back into
Oh,
things. So,
true.
85. We're on page 85.
I definitely need to catch up because right now I'm like 81.
Oh, yeah, you need to catch up a little bit. That's okay.
Again, I wasn't here on Tuesday and Thursday, so that's what happens.
So, we're talking about imposter ly adverbs. Do you guys know what that word imposter means? Have you heard that before? Imposter. So, imposter means in life, if somebody's trying to pretend like they're somebody else, that's an imposter. So I don't know if you've ever been to like Hollywood or Las
Never
Vegas.
been to Hollywood.
They sometimes will have like, or even well, they'll have characters like Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wait, I know that movie.
Yeah, so they'll have
I
somebody
watched that
dressed
movie.
like him, and the actor's name is Johnny Depp, right? He's the one that plays that character, but
Oh, I did
sometimes
not know
people
that.
dress up like him and they try to pretend to be him, but they're not really him. So that's what an imposter is they're trying to be like them, but they're not really that person. So in writing, in words, sometimes there's words that look like they could be an ly adverb, but they're not. They're imposters. So it says an imposter ly adverb is a word that looks like an ly adverb because it ends in ly, but it's actually an adjective. So some words have ly, but they're not really an adverb. So it says if the ly word modifies a verb, that means if it tells more about the verb, or adjective or adverb, it will tell when, where, why, how, and to what extent. That's what you're looking for when you're looking for an adverb, an ly adverb. It has to tell when, where, why, how, and to what extent. It is an adverb. So you're just going to look for it in this book and then write ly above each ly adverb. So look at this sentence here. The soldier thoughtfully shared his meal. Thoughtfully has an ly and it's telling how he shared his meal. So we know it's an adverb because it's telling how. How did he share his meal? He thoughtfully shared his meal. If the ly word describes a noun or a pronoun, that's different because remember, this is about verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. But if it describes a noun or a pronoun, it will tell which one or what kind. It is an adjective. So for these, you're going to write ADJ above each adjective. So look at this example here. The friendly soldier shared his meal. Okay, so it's talking about the soldier here. Even though it has an ly, it's telling about the soldier, and the soldier is a noun. We know that because person, person, place, thing, those are the nouns, right? So a soldier is a person, and it's telling what kind of soldier it is. It's a friendly soldier. So friendly is not an adverb here, it's an adjective. So that's what they want you to notice the difference. Okay. So here, thoughtfully shared, that's next to a verb because that verb, the word shared is a verb, it's an action, it's what he's doing. But this one is a soldier, is not an action, it's a noun, it's a person. Friendly soldier. So that's the difference, okay? Look down here at the bottom of the page on page 85. These are a lot of the common imposters. Notice how they all have ly. So it's chilly, friendly, ghastly, ghostly, holy, kingly, knightly, lonely, lovely, lowly, orderly, prickly, queenly, ugly, worldly, wrinkly. They all have ly, but they are not adverbs. These are telling about a noun. Like if you think of wrinkly, the old man is wrinkly. You're telling about the man. He's the noun. He is describing him. So watch out for these. They're going to try to trick you. So don't look at if you see that ly, don't automatically think it's an ly adverb because it could be an imposter, okay? So it's a kind of a They're going to trick you. All right, let's turn the page to the practice page. This is page 87. Does anybody feel like reading it today? Okay, Abby, go for it.
The king was very weary. He called his daughter and told her that she must immediately return the stolen treasures.
Good. Okay, weary is that vocabulary word, and it just means lacking strength or energy, like really tired. Weary. You've probably heard that word before. So go ahead and check your vocabulary at the top. It looks like we have two articles. So go ahead and find those by yourself, the two articles, and mark those. By the way, while you're doing that, they're both the. When you sit down to do your homework, this is really important for you guys to remember. We talked about it a little bit at the parent conference that we had before Christmas. When you sit down to do your homework, the first step is to read your sentence. You have to read it out loud because sometimes, like some words can be different depending on how it's used in the sentence. It could be a noun one time, but a verb another time. So you need to read the sentence out loud, even if you're the only one in the room. Just read it out loud. You can whisper it and then go through your list and start marking things. Okay. So we got three nouns. Megan, where are the three nouns in here?
Treasures,
Good. Treasures,
daughter,
daughter.
king,
Good. That's it. Good job. Pronouns. Let's see. Malia, how about the pronouns?
Um, he
Yes, he. Oh, wait, did you say? Oh, yeah, here it is. He.
and her
Good.
and she.
Good. I'm glad you didn't say his because it kind of looks like that could be a pronoun, but that's going to be an adjective telling whose daughter it is. So good job, Malia. All right, Abby, I kind of gave away one of them, but what are the adjectives?
Stolen.
That's actually, you're right, because it's describing the treasures. You're right. I thought it was something else for a second, but it's telling what kind of treasures. They're treasures, they're stolen treasures. Good. What else?
Is and
Is
um, maybe immediately.
no, it's a word that's kind of describing the king in the beginning.
Weary.
Weary, yes. It's telling that he is weary. It's telling about the king. So immediately goes with return. So that's going to be something different here. So, let's see, Megan, where's the ly adverb? You're looking for, oh, you're muted if you said it. I didn't hear it.
oh, immediately.
Good.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
That's okay. And then Malia, how about the coordinating conjunction? Remember what those are? The fanboys?
I don't like back on it real quick.
Did you forget what those are?
Yeah, no, I remember what they are. I just was making sure.
Okay.
Um, and
Good. That's right. Very good. Were you looking back in your book to make sure? That's good. That's a good thing to do. Look back in your book. Okay, the that clause, Abby.
that she must immediately return the stolen treasures.
Yes, very good. Starts with that. We're going to put that on top of it. Very good. Subject verb pairs. We'll start with verbs. So, Megan, where are the verbs? Those action words or helping.
Returned,
Good.
Called.
Good.
Hmm. Can stolen work?
Uh-huh. No, actually, it's not. It could be a verb, actually, but in this sentence, it's telling what kind of treasures. So it's an adjective, not stolen.
Uh, told.
Yes, told is one. And then there's
Must.
a was good. That's a linking verb. It's linking the king to weary. And then there's one more that goes with um return when. Oh, sorry. Not that. Hold on. This word must is actually a verb. Must immediately. I was looking at my notes here, but
Oh, so I got it right apparently with must.
yeah, it's must. Must is another verb right
I've
here.
done some verbs before.
This connects with she. She's going to be the subject here. So speaking of subjects, though, Malia, what about the subjects here? There's going to be three of them. So look at the verbs and try to figure out like who or what is doing the verb. King is one subject. Good. Who called his daughter? The king did, but in the sentence, look for the pronoun here.
He.
There you go. So it was he that called his daughter and told her. And then there's a subject inside the that clause. So who must immediately return?
I already did that one. She.
Oh, you already did that one?
Mhm.
I thought you said he, because he is one too. Oh, I thought you said he. So king, these are the subjects. King, he, and she. All right, capitals, go ahead and find those by yourself. And then one end mark is a period. Pretty easy. It was a long sentence, but. So remember, when you're doing your grammar homework, it's okay to move around on that list. You don't have to go in order, but don't forget to read the sentence first out loud, even if it's just you're by yourself. Just read it out loud. Okay. All right. We're done with grammar for now. Go ahead and get out your binders. And you should have in your front pocket, you guys were working on why opossum has a bare tail. We're done with that now. So you can put that away in your finished binder, whatever you're keeping your finished stuff in. But except the blue page, don't put that one away. We need to keep the blue page out. But everything else for opossum can go away in your finished stuff. Look at this blue page again. So don't put that one away. Everything else goes away, and then you can get out the next lesson, which is behind the source text tab. Remember where we find those new lessons right here, week 8, the little red hen. So go ahead and get out week 8 called the little red hen, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages.
5 pages?
5 pages.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Very challenging.
5 pages. Starts on page 61 and it goes all the way to 70. So five
Well,
pages.
kind of 6 because of blue paper.
Yeah, you're going to keep the blue paper out. That's right.
Two. Are we
And you
keeping
need,
this?
yeah, we need that one too. And you need a lined piece of paper too. So make sure you get out a new, fresh, clean piece of lined paper.
I'm getting a lot of papers today.
Yeah. It's good to clean out your front pocket when we're done with something because you're going to need that space to put your new stuff that you're working on. So remember, everything stays in the front pocket that you're working on.
Do we get a 67?
Yes, you need 67 and 69. Take them all out up until you see week 9. Don't take out week 9 yet. Leave that in there. Okay, thumbs up when you got all your stuff out, lined paper and everything. Okay, good.
Oh no, forget my line paper.
Do you know where your lined paper is?
No.
Oh, well, you need it, so you better go get it.
Alright.
Okay. All right. Do you have yours out, Malia? Okay, let's start with the blue page here. You guys already have stuff written on this page, like they said and seesaw. You guys see that on there? We're gonna add a couple new banned words. Wah, wah, wah. New banned words. Okay. The first one, you have seesaw and say said. So you should be over here on this third box. Let me lighten this so you can see it better. Oh, there we go. You're going to put in this third box, think and
I'm
whoops.
back. It was in a
Okay.
cabinet.
Think and thought. You're going to have to write it kind of small. We're on the blue page, okay? We're adding new banned words this week. Think and thought. You're going to have to write those pretty small because the space is not super big. Think and thought. Okay, so now you can't use think or thought anymore because it's boring. We got to think of better ways to say that. You guys have any ideas of different ways to say that? Think or thought? Maybe like dreamed. Anything that happens inside your head, like decided, that would be a good one. Decided. This is a tricky one. How about the word knew with a K? Knew. Like I knew it was going to rain today because of the clouds or something. Instead of I thought it was going to rain, I knew it was going to rain. I believed it was going to rain. Believed. Anybody thinking of any yet? I'll just keep going unless you guys think of one. This is a hard
You're
one.
going a little bit too
Oh,
fast.
okay.
I almost can't catch up.
I'm going to leave it here. So you just keep writing, okay, Megan?
Okay. There we
Okay. What about hoped? Hoped is a good one.
go. Ooh, how about brave?
Brave, that's a good one, except for that's not a verb. We're looking for verbs
Uh,
to tell about think or thought. Like remembered. I know it's a big word, but remembered is a good one. Or realized. We'll leave it like that. Oh, you got one, Abby?
Observing.
That would be more for seesaw. Yeah, observing is what we do with our eyes. We're watching something, but yeah, these are hard. Just write these down for now, but these are when you think, it happens inside your own brain. It's quiet. Nobody else hears your thoughts, right? So that's what these words reflect that. Okay, they're different ways of saying that. So the other words that we're banning today over here in the next column is go and went. Go and went. So you can't use go and went anymore. We
think I might
have to
know.
think of some other way to say that. You have any ideas? I think Malia has an idea. Go ahead.
I traveled.
Traveled. Yes, that's a good one. That could be a good one. Or like he went in the other room, he left to the other room, maybe left, or he went to the store, he left to the store or left the room. Abby?
I forgot.
Megan, you have one?
Through.
Through, think about how people move from one place to another. What's a
Walk.
describe that? Walked. That would work. Yeah. Malia?
He sprinted.
Sprinted. I like it. He could even drive or drove. Instead of saying he went to the store, he drove to the store. Abby?
Hustled.
Hustled. I like it. Malia, got one?
He took a cab to the store.
He took a cab. Yeah, that's a good one. That's more than one word, though. I don't know how we would fit that one in there. Maybe he rushed, though. Another way to say hustled, rushed. Rushed to the store. That's a pretty good list right there. So when you go to do your writing and you don't like any of these, you can look in a thesaurus, okay? Or online if it's okay with your parents, but you can look up the words thought or went and see what some other choices are. There's lots of them out there. So that's one thing you can do. All right, so we're done with that page for now, but I want you to keep it with your stuff here. And I want you to look at the pink page next. So find that pink page. This is going to be a nice, handy list for you. Pink page is next. This page has ly adverbs on it, which is so nice to have a list. So when you're writing and you need to include an ly adverb because it's on your checklist, it's one of your dress ups, you can use this list to help you. And notice all these extra lines here. You get to add as you're reading other books or as you're even talking to people or even at the store looking at stuff, you're going to find some great ly adverbs around in the world, right? If you see one or you hear one and you're like, man, I got to remember that one. That's a good one. You can write it on your list here and use it in your writing. Okay. So if you're reading a book, say like it's nighttime and maybe you like to read a chapter of your book before you go to bed and you're reading and you come across a word like anxiously, for example, and you're like, ooh, anxiously, that's a good ly word. I think I might need that one. Come write it down on your list. In fact, let's do that because anxiously is a good one. We might as well add it here. Anxiously, it has an X in it. Anxiously. Like if you're excited or you're anxious about something and you're anxiously waiting for Disneyland to open, something like that. You get there early. You guys ever been there before the gates open and you're waiting and you're waiting. You're like, open, open, open. Anxiously waiting. Okay, so use these lines, but look at these words. These are really, really good ly adverbs to use. So I'm going to make a suggestion, but you don't have to do this. If it's okay with your mom, I suggest you tape this on your wall near where you do your writing homework. And that way you don't even have to look for it. It's like on the wall, it's there, it's easy to see. And when you're writing and you need an ly adverb, you can use that list and it's easy to find. Okay, so I wanted to show that to you. Now, I need you to get out your lined paper that you got, clean piece of lined paper. We're starting a new lesson this week, and it's called The Little Red Hen. It's a fun story, funny. So name and date here, like we always do. Today is 1/15/25. It's going to take us a little while to get used to that one, huh? Skip a line, and it's called The Little Red Hen. That's the name of our story this week. SSC. Who remembers what SSC stands for? Remember? It's been a while since we talked about it. Abby's like, I think so. Wait, no, yeah, no, I'm not sure. Story. Got it, Abby? What is it?
Story sequence chart.
Yes, there it is. Story sequence chart. It's been a while. It's okay. We're going to build a chart again. So you're going to skip a line and about the middle of your page, maybe a little to the left side. Remember how we start by drawing a line down like that? Partway down your paper. It does not have to be perfect, so don't stress over that. Just draw a line somewhere in the middle. And then we're going to start building your keyword outline or your story sequence chart on the right side. So we're going to start with Roman numeral 1 and then 1, 2, 3. I'm going to keep going, Megan. I know I'm going a little fast, but I'm going to stop in a minute so you can catch up, okay? Skip a line. Roman numeral 2, 1, 2, 3. Skip a line. Roman numeral 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, when you get that down, give me a thumbs up. We did this for Why Opossum Has a Bare Tail and King Midas. So this should be pretty familiar to you guys how we did this. And this is the last one that this is the last story like this that we're going to do. Got it? Okay, good. Good. You got it too, Megan?
I got the little red hen. I
Oh,
didn't get the numbers yet.
you didn't get the numbers yet? Okay.
But I'm going to right now.
Okay.
My line's not straight.
Yeah, that's okay though. Remember I told you it doesn't have to be perfect, so
True.
okay, don't worry about it. I'm going to keep going, but you just keep working, okay, Megan? I'm going to leave it right here so you can see it, and you just keep copying, okay?
Okay.
So after you write down those numbers, right on top of the Roman numeral, you're going to trace that blue line across. Remember how we made these boxes? And you can go all the way to the edge of your paper. Right on top of Roman numeral 2, draw a line. Right on top of Roman numeral 3, draw a line. And then wherever your bottom line ends, wherever that is, you can just kind of finish it off like that. So we've got boxes now. Okay. Abby, are you tired? I feel it too. I know it takes a little while to get back into school. So I'm feeling it too. So in that first box, who remembers what did we talk about first? We did it for King Midas and for Why
We did
Opossum
settings and
settings,
characters and who
characters and
why.
settings. That's right, Megan. So characters / setting. That's right. Very good. And setting means where the story takes place. So these are the two questions. I know you're copying, Megan. Keep copying. Who and where? Those are the two questions we ask in that first paragraph. And that helps set the story. Because I think I talked to you guys about Kung Fu Panda way back in the beginning and how they introduce the characters at the beginning and the setting. That helps tell the story. So, okay, so somebody other than Megan, what happens in the middle of the story? What is that middle one, Abby?
Conflict and problem.
Yes, very good. Conflict / problem. And this is the what question. What does the character need? What does the character want? What is the character thinking? What is the character saying? What is the character doing? So conflict and problem. And then do you remember, Malia, what we talk about at the end, this box? After the problem, then what?
I know it was something like solve the problem or something. I don't know.
Solving, yeah. It, the first word is climax. You remember that word?
Yeah.
Remember how we used to draw a little mountain and a guy at the top of the mountain, and one side is like a fluffy landing and the other side is spikes? We don't know if he's going to be okay or if he's going to die. Abby.
Resolution.
Oh,
Climax is
good. As
resolution.
I was writing it. Yep. Resolution. And this is where we ask the question, how? How do they solve their problem? Okay. So now we have it set up. The next step is to read the story. So keep writing, Megan. I'm going to let you catch up, but I'm going to read the story because I'm worried about the time. I want to make sure I give you plenty of time to finish this outline here. But I'll leave this right here for you, okay, Megan, so you can keep writing. Everybody else, look at the story on page 65 called The Little Red Hen. Does anybody want to read that first paragraph? Abby does. Okay, hold on. So it says The Little Red Hen, and then it says abridged from an 1818 telling by Florence White Williams. So that just means this is an old story, like 200 years old. And they used to just tell the story, but this person, Florence White Williams, they actually wrote it down on paper. So that's what we have here. So this is her story that she told. So go ahead and just read that first paragraph, Abby.
A little red hen lived in a barnyard. She spent almost all of her time walking about the barnyard in her pickety-peckety fashion, scratching everywhere for worms. As often as she found a worm, she would call "chuck, chuck, chuck" to her chickies. When they were gathered about her, she would distribute choice morsels of her tidbit. A little busybody was she.
Nice job reading it. So some of these words are like old-fashioned words that we don't use anymore, like morsels and tidbit. So basically do you know what distributing means when you distribute something? Kinda, sorta. Okay, so think of like when you're playing cards, if you've ever played cards with your family before, and you know how you pass out the cards at the beginning of the game and you go around and everybody gets a card, you're distributing the cards, you're passing them out, right? So this hen is a mama. She's got chicks, those are her babies. And so she's passing out breakfast, basically. She's passing out little pieces and crumbs to each one of her chickies so they have something to eat. Okay, so that's what distributing means. And choice morsels of her tidbit. Those are just little pieces of food. So morsels are food, and then tidbits are just little pieces of food. So they're chicks, so they can't eat very much, just little tiny pieces. So Megan, are you still writing or are you done?
I'm almost done making the boxes.
Okay,
Too.
so I'm going to leave it here for you. And then Megan, how about you keep going? Do you want to read the whole story? You like reading? Or
Sure.
wait, I'm sorry, not Megan. I meant Abby.
Oh, I got
I
confused.
forgot because you're writing. So I'm going to have Abby read it. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
So I'll have Abby, if you want to read it starting like the rest of it, that would be great.
A cat usually napped lazily in the barn door, not even bothering herself to scare the rat, who ran there and there as he pleased. And as for the pig, who lived in the sty, he did not care what happened so long as he could eat and sleep. One day, the little red hen found a seed, carrying it about. She made many inquiries as to what it might be. She found it was a wheat seed, and that if planted, it would grow up, and then would ripe, and it could be made into flour and then into bread. She called loudly, "Who will plant the seed?" But the pig said, "Not I." And the cat said, "Not I." And the rat said, "Not I." So then, said the little red hen, "I will." And she did. Then she went on with her daily duties through the long summer days. One day the little red hen chanced to notice how large the wheat was and what the grain was, and that the grain was ripe. So she ran and called out briskly, "Who will cut the wheat?" The pig said, "Not I." The cat said, "Not I." And the rat also said, "Not I." "Well then," said the little red hen, "I will." And she did. She got the sickle out of the barn and proceeded to cut off all of the wheat. She called out, "Who will thresh the wheat?" But the pig with a grunt said, "Not I." And the cat with a meow said, "Not I." And the rat with a squeak said, "Not I." So then the little red hen, rather discouraged, said, "Well, I will do it then." And she did. Who will carry the wheat to the mill to be ground? Turning their backs with snippy glee, the pig and the cat and the rat said, "Not I." So the good little red hen could do nothing but say, "I will then." And she did. Mrs. Hen retired to her slumbers earlier than usual. She would have liked to sleep late in the morning, but as she opened one eye, she thought that today the flour must be made into bread. So after her chores, she hunted up the pig, the cat, and the rat. So confident that they would surely help her, she sang out, "Who will make the bread?" The pig said, "Not I." The cat said, "Not I." And the rat said, "Not I." So the little red hen said once more, "I will then." And she did. She set the dough, kneading the bread, divided it into loaves, and put them in the oven to bake. While the cat sat lazily by, the vain rat powdered his nose and admired himself in the mirror. In the distance could be heard the snores of the dozing pig. At last, a delicious odor was wafted upon the autumn breeze. The red hen called out, "Who will eat the bread?" All of the animals in the barnyard were watching hungrily and smacking their lips in anticipation. And the pig said, "I will." And the cat said, "I will." And the rat, "I will." But the little red hen said, "No, you won't. I will." And she and her chicks ate the bread.
Good job reading. Very nice, Abby. Very good. Yeah.
Yay, I finally made it.
Okay, good. So have you guys ever read the story Cook-a-Doodle-Doo? Have you ever read that one? It reminds me
That's
of that.
familiar
Yeah,
to
where they're
me.
making like a strawberry shortcake and the same thing.
Oh, I know strawberry
I
shortcake.
know, me too. So anyway, at the end, the hen was like, "Nope, I'm not sharing this. Nobody helped me, so you don't get any." So they got what they deserved, which was nothing. But I wanted to talk about a couple of words here. Did you hear that word? And it's called wafted, actually, right here. It said, "At last, a delicious odor was wafted upon the autumn breeze." So that just basically means think about summertime and maybe your dad or your mom or your uncle, somebody's barbecuing and you're outside playing, and then all of a sudden you get a whiff of that barbecue and you're like, "Ooh, that smells so good." Because it's the odor or the smell, the fragrance really, it's about the food, gets carried in the wind and they could smell it. So that's what wafted means. Another word I wanted to explain is on the front. That word sickle is an old-fashioned tool that they use to cut down the wheat. It's almost like a big knife that's shaped like a curve, like a moon shape. And they used it to cut down the wheat. And then that word thresh at the very end, I'm looking at page 65 just to tell you a couple of vocabulary words here, but that word thresh means when a wheat grows, it has a shell on it or an outer part to it, and the seed in the middle is what we eat. That's what we crush into flour. But to thresh it means to separate it. So the part of the plant you don't need goes in one pile, and then the seed goes in a bowl or something. So threshing it means to separate it out, okay? So, all right, we're ready now to work on our story sequence chart. And we have some characters in our story. I'm going to have Megan go first. Who's the main character in this story? would you say? Who's the
The red hen.
the red hen? So I think we should talk about her first. I'm just going to put hen here next to Roman numeral 1. And she is red. If you want to put a little R next to it, I'm going to put a little R for red. If you want to call her the red hen, you can. And what about the hen? What do you know about her? This is where we're going to talk about the characters, like who and where, characters and settings. So what do we know about the hen, Megan, in the beginning?
Hmm.
She has chickies, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So she has her chickies and
Worms.
worms. She found worms. So she was feeding her chicks, right? So
Ooh.
we could put feeding chicks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Feeding and chicks. They call them chickies. So I'm going to put chickies. It's kind of cute. Chickies. Those are the babies, right? Baby chicks. And Abby, where is she in the story? Let's talk about the setting a little bit. Where is she in the story?
The barnyard.
In a barnyard. Yeah. And what was she doing around the barnyard as she was feeding her chickies?
Digging up worms and scratching everywhere.
She was digging up worms. So let's put barnyard and she found a worm and then she distributed. Let's put found and then worm. Okay. Now we've got one character and we've got the setting. We probably should talk about the other characters too. Let's see. Look at my notes here really quick. Hmm. Oh, here we go. Who else is in this story? Malia, what are the other characters? Pick one of the other animals.
The rat and the pig and the uh I forgot the
Cat. I think the cat was the other one. Let's talk about the rat first. Tell me about the rat. You can look back on the story a little bit. It says in the second paragraph, the rat who ran here and there as he pleased. So he was basically like he was carefree. He went wherever he wanted. He's like he didn't listen to anybody. He did his own thing, right? He was carefree. What else could you say about the rat? Oh, Abby, you have an idea?
He's lazy.
Carefree and lazy. I like it. So let's put that for number 2. The rat, carefree and lazy. Carefree, that word is um gosh, I forgot the name of the word now. Not a contraction, it's a ah, what do you call a word that has 2 words put together? My goodness. Anyway, we've got care and free, and we put them together for carefree. That's one word. Okay. I'll think of it in a second. For some reason, my brain is not on yet. How about Megan? What's one of the other? Let's talk about the cat for a second, Megan. What words can we put to describe the cat next?
Cat. Napped.
He napped, and he was also lazy, huh?
Yeah. I feel like they spell it wrong with lazy. Or is that how they do it? I don't know.
Lazily. So that's telling how he napped. That's a
Ah.
good ly adverb,
Oh, it
actually.
is. I think
Rat
I would
lazily.
underline it.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Napped. And what's another word for lazy, though? What else could we say instead of lazy since we already used lazy? Hmm.
Borrowing?
Borrowing, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe tired. I guess we could say tired. I'm gonna put tired here. But if you guys think of a different word, you can put a different one there. And then, oh, Abby.
It's called a compound word.
No, that's it. Thank you. I could not remember that. Thank you, Abby. A compound word. We have two small words, put them together. Very good. You know what? And we have one more character, so I'm going to add a 4 here. This is why we skip a line, just in case we need another one. So we need to talk about the pig. We don't have the pig on here yet. So we're going to add number 4, and let's talk about the pig. So Abby, what can we say about the pig?
Sleepy and hungry.
Sleepy and hungry. Yeah, that's a good one. Sleepy and hungry. So everybody's tired, it seems like, in this story, except for the hen. Hen's not tired. Hen is busy. There we go. Sleepy and hungry. Good. Now we've got all the characters. We got the setting in the barnyard. Now we're going to move on to what happens. What is the problem? We're going to move into that. So Malia, what does the little red hen find as she's out pecking around? She finds something after she feeds all of her chickies.
She finds a seed.
She found a seed. Very good. So I think we should, what if we put LRH for little red hen? Circle those letters in your title. And then we'll remember LRH is going to stand for little red hen. That way we don't have to use that word. She found, what kind of a seed was it, Malia?
I forgot.
It's a wheat seed.
Um,
Yeah, wheat seed. And what does she want to do with that wheat seed? What does she end up doing at the end of the story, Malia? What does she make with it?
bread.
Bread. So I'm going to draw an arrow like this and put bread because that's what she wants. She found a wheat seed and she's like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make some bread. So I put LRH, wheat seed, and then she wants to turn it into bread. So this is when she starts asking for help, right? So Megan, what does she say first? What does she need help with first?
Let's see.
Right here, after she found this wheat seed.
Caring.
No, that's later. What do you have to do with the seed in order to get the wheat?
You put it in the ground?
Put it in the ground. You plant it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's put in quotes here. This is because she's going to say this. We're going to have her say, we're going to put the keywords help, plant with a question mark. Okay, and I put little quotes around it. So you're going to have some speaking parts in this story. So make sure you don't use the word said because that's a banned word. It's going to be a hard one to remember, but try not to say said. So you would say, the little red hen asked. That would be a good way to do it. The little red hen asked, who will help me plant the seed? Well, does anybody help her, Megan?
Let's see.
She says, who will help me plant the seed? And what do they say?
See. A pig.
The pig, what does the pig say?
The pig said, where did it say? What? That is weird.
Right
Wait,
here.
where
You
are
see
we?
where I'm pointing? You can look on the screen. It says, but the pig said,
Not I. And a
Not
cat
I.
said not I.
Not
And the
I.
rat said
Nobody
not
wanted to
I.
help. Okay, so let's put P for pig and comma, and then we'll put C for cat and R for rat. Oops, not on number 2. Sorry, I messed up. It needs to go over here. P C R. Sorry, I messed up on that. Not And they all say no, or they say not I, but we can only use one more word because we already have help and plant on that line. So make sure you put that next to 1. Help plant, PCR, no. PCR, you know what? Let's circle them right here. There's an R, a C, and a pig. PCR is going to be the pig, the rat, and the cat. You guys understand that? Just for notes for yourself. Okay. And then she's asking who will help cut the wheat. So the wheat grows. And then she says, who will help cut the wheat? So the wheat grows. I'm going to put that word grows. And then let's put not H, put cut question mark with quotes around it. So after the wheat grows, she asks, who will cut? That's what I put here, cut. And again, P, C, R, they all said, not I, but I'm just going to put the word no with an exclamation mark there, okay? And then she asked that question, who will help thresh? That's separating out the wheat, right? The part of the plant you don't need, and then the seeds. So I'm going to put in quotes, thresh, question mark, who will help me thresh the wheat? And they all said no. And then she says, who will help me carry the wheat? And they all said no. So I'm just putting notes here. I know that's 4 words, but that's okay. No is a small word, so just for this one. So thresh, no. Carry, no. And when you're writing this, you can write out those longer sentences that talk about how the cat and the rat and the pig, they all said no. I do not want to help. And you can change up how you have them say no. They could say not I. They could say something like, no way, Jose. They could say, nope. There's different ways of putting that. So rather than just saying no, 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 no on your paragraphs, try to think of creative ways for them to say no. They're not going to help. So, and then she even asked, I'm going to add a 4 here too, actually. She even asked if they'll help bake. So I'm going to put bake, question mark, and I'm going to put not I. They all said not I. Oh yeah, I forgot to put C and P and R here for all those characters, the cat, the pig, and the rat. Let me zoom in so you can see this a little better. They all said no, not I. I know I'm going kind of fast here, but I want to finish this up so you guys are ready to write your paragraphs this week. So then that's the problem here. We just talked about her problem. The problem is the hen wants to bake bread, but she doesn't have anybody to help her. They all keep saying no to her. That's her problem. So this is how she's going to solve her problem now. We're going to start going into that. So she mixed the dough. So I'm going to put mixed, and then she kneaded the dough, and then I'm going to put dough here. So she mixed and kneaded the dough. You know what kneaded means? Have you guys ever made bread before? Okay. If you haven't made bread before, kneading, yeah, I think you were doing it, Malia. It's like squeezing it and pushing it and moving it and push, push with your hands like that and squeeze and mix. And it's like you're really squeezing hard. Sometimes when you play with Play-Doh, maybe you do that to, you know, feels good in your hands. Okay, so she's getting ready to bake this bread. And remember the part where she's putting it in the oven. Let's see, where is that part in the back? Oh, right here on the back of the story where it's talking about how that she kneaded the dough, divided into loaves, and put it in the oven to bake. And then it says, while the cat sat lazily by, the vain rat powdered his nose and admired himself in a mirror, and in the distance could be heard the snores of the dozing pig. These animals are just being so lazy. So it says first, cat, I'm going to put C, and then I'm going to put sleeping. And then it says the rat R. Do you know what it means to powder your nose? We don't really do that anymore. But in the olden days, remember this story is back in the 1800s. Um, even the guys, it was like girls and guys, they never wanted their nose to be shiny. They didn't like it to be shiny. So they used a powder, kind of like baby powder. And they had a little cotton ball and they would dip it in the powder and then they would just powder their nose so that it didn't look shiny anymore. I mean, it'd be a little bit white, but it wouldn't be shiny. They didn't want it shiny or oily. So that's what he's basically vain, meaning he liked the way he looks and he was just worried about how he looks, which is weird for a rat, but okay. That's what he was worried about. And he was looking in the mirror, right? So I'm going to put mirror here. And then the pig, the P, pig was snoring. So I'm going to put snoring. So the cat was sleeping, the rat was looking in the mirror, and the pig was snoring. Uh-oh, we're out of time. I'm going to go through this kind of quick here. Sorry, guys, we need to go a little bit longer. So then they smelled the bread, and then for number 3, I'm just going to do 2 words there. Remember how the hen said, "Who will help me eat?" Help eat? Question mark. And then C and P and R said, "I will." We're going to add a 4 here too, really quick. Sorry, guys. Going kind of quick here. And she says, "No." And then she says, "I will." And she gave him to her chickies. I'm going to put chickies here too. Put quotes around all that. "No, I will." And then she gave them to her chickies. Sorry, that was kind of quick at the end there. But look at that. We got it all. You've got all of your key words for each one of your paragraphs. The first one talking about the characters and setting, the middle one talking about the conflict and the problem happening, and then the last one is how it got resolved, which basically she resolved it by baking the bread by herself and eating it with her chickies and not sharing it. All right, so you're going to write all 3 paragraphs this week. You got all your keywords right here. You're good to go. And then you have your checklist. Don't forget to use that and make sure you put your dress ups in there. Okay? Don't forget to do all your dress ups right here. There's 3 of them. So 3 paragraphs this week. You guys can do it. Any questions about homework? No? Sorry, we're a little late. I'll let you guys go. See you next week. Bye. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week.
You too.